What's up, guys? My name is Ty Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel where we share with you guys the real world experiences that we have in growing and managing a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio in the cryptocurrency market. In this video, guys, I want to talk about the signals, the market signals that we look at to help us determine when to take profits, okay? And I will say this again, as I said in the previous videos, okay? And nothing has changed, right? That everyone looks to the outside. Everyone looks to the outside of them for the signals to take a profits, okay? So everyone wants to know that, hey, we start at the bottom here, and as the market's going up, that they want to take profits somewhere within this range, right? And what I'm letting you guys know, that the biggest mistake that a lot of people made in the 2017 bull market is that that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for, hey, when it gets near the peak of the bull market, then they'll take profits. But what's important is that if you think about why we get into crypto to make life-changing profits, the key here is life-changing. So we are taking profits so that it helps us to use that money to change something in our lives. So for example, I've been working my ass off all my life, okay? So in 2017, right, I wanted to take enough profits so that I can quit my day job and just retire. So I did not care to go from here all the way up to here. If I needed this much money, which was at that time is my monthly expenses were about $4,000 a month, and if you multiply that by 4,000 times 12 months, that's about $48,000, and then round it off to 50,000. So 50,000, I needed at that time, I needed about $150,000, which is 3 years, because I told myself that if I had enough money to live for 3 years without going to work, during those 3 years, I could make enough money to extend my retirement, all right? And within like 2 months, I was able to extend it from 3 years to 5 years, and then within just another couple more, 2-3 more months, I was able to extend it to 10 years, and then by the end of that year, it was no longer, I didn't have to count how many years that I can live without going to work, all right? So what I did was that I took that $150,000, and let's just say that that $150,000 is this much money, and I look at the bull market, and if there's a section of it where I can say, hey man, there's enough money here, right, where I can take this chunk out and fulfill the things that I want to do in my life, then that's enough. That's enough. That's it. I don't have to wait for the market to go up here and sell up here, right? At this stage in the bull market, I know that there's a fear that, hey, I don't want to sell too early down here, but I don't want to sell when it's too late, when things are going down like this, and I'm selling on this side of the bull market. We want to sell on this side of the bull market, right? And ideally, we want to sell somewhere in here. We want to start selling somewhere in here. We're not going to be able to get the top. We're not going to be able to get the bottoms in the bear markets or the tops in the bull markets. But what we can do is we can take out a section of that market, okay? So what I would say is that you got to know your personal financial goals. You got to know the number. Like if your personal financial goal is, hey, I need $1 million so I can quit my day job, or I need $1 million to buy my dream home, right? Then if there's an opportunity in this bull market, if we go up, if there's an opportunity for you to take out that $1 million, just take it. Just take it out, right? If you start taking profits for that a month or two from this video, you would not be wrong. You would not be wrong. Even if the market goes up another 100 times after you take it out, it's okay, because you're not here to see if you can make the most money and get every penny, every drop out of the market. What your goal should be is to fulfill your personal financial goals, all right? So in this bull market, there's many signals. Like some people look at moving averages, some people look at RSI, stochastics, MACD, all this other bullshit, all right? I don't pay attention to any of that. Just so you guys know, I know how to use it, but I don't teach it to any of my students, right? Because I have not seen someone use that and consistently make a living off of it, right? So I cannot teach you something just because I know it, right? Just because I know it, that's not enough for me to teach it or share it with somebody else. I gotta see myself someone on my team or somebody else I know of that I can trust that is actually doing that and making a consistent living off of it before I will open my mouth and tell someone to go do the same thing, right? Remember, this is a real world channel. This is not a theoretical channel. This is not a fantasy channel. When you guys are listening to somebody online, you guys should ask this question, right? Are you using that method to make a living? Are you using that strategy to make a living, right? Have you made $1 million doing that? Have you taught someone else to do that and make $1 million also? If you do that, then I would listen to it. If not, I would not waste time listening to it. That's why it took me so long to become a successful trader and investor, was because I spent the bulk of my life learning from someone that did not do trading and investing for a living. And that's why it took me so long. So now, it was a very hard and difficult path for me to get here to where I'm at. That's why I make this channel, so I can share with you guys so that you guys don't have to go through the same bullshit that I went through to learn how to trade and invest correctly so you can retire early, all right? So the two signals, I'll share with you guys there's many market signals. If you want to learn them all, you can get a copy of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, right? You can get a copy of that and then get everything that we know, all right? But in this video, I just want to talk about two things that I look at, okay? When I look at a market signal, that signal has to help me make a buy, sell, or hold, or stay out decision. Those are the only four things you can do in the markets: buy, sell, hold, or stay out. Don't do anything, right? So we've already bought during the last 3 years in the bear market. So now we're holding, all right? The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start selling and taking profits. So when we do that, what are the signals that I'm looking at? So whatever signals I look at, it's gotta help me make that decision accurately. Like, I can't look at that signal. Like, if you guys ask me like, hey Ty, how come you don't use MACD or RSI or stock to flow or any of these other models and any of these other indicators? Because I can't make it, I'm not able to make a decision to buy or sell or to hold or to stay out from that data. Now, the other guy that might be able to, like the guy Plan B, the one that came up with the stock to flow model, he might be able to look at it and understand when to buy, sell, hold, or stay out. But when I look at it and I read it and I understand what he's saying, but I don't know how to implement it. I don't know how to I don't know if, okay, when it does this, do I buy, do I sell, do I hold, what do I do? I'm not clear on it, so I cannot use that. Doesn't mean it's bad, but it means that I cannot use it. So what I share with you guys in this video, if you guys do not understand what the hell I'm talking about, then obviously don't use it. But if you do understand it, then you might consider using it, all right? So on what I teach, what I use and what I teach my students is a trend channel, okay? So it's just a channel, both parallel lines, and it goes up. I draw a trend line, touching all the lows, and then I draw a parallel line parallel to it, touching all the highs. Now, why do I use that? I use that because when the price is at the bottom of the trend channel and it starts to go up to the top of the trend channel and people sell it and it goes back down to the bottom of the trend channel and then people buy and it moves it back up, every time, if the trend channel is at an angle like a 45-degree angle or 60-degree angle, that's what I like to see. And what that tells me is that the people in the market, the buyers, are willing to pay a higher price to go up. Now that could be Bitcoin, that could be Ethereum, that could be the entire market, right? To me, it doesn't matter. What it matters is that the buyers are willing to keep paying more and pushing the market up. So when somebody's willing to pay more for something, that to me is strong demand, okay? And if people keep doing that, then that lets me know they're willing to buy more, right? So the higher it goes up on that trend channel, the more that I'm getting ready to sell, because people are not going to just keep wanting to pay more, and keep going, right? At least not in the same bull market. They might be willing to pay more after a bear market and then go back into the next bull market. They might be willing to pay more, but at this moment, it's gone up pretty high, all right? So that's one signal, because it conveys to me, it lets me know that that person wants to pay more. Now, here's another signal that I look at, and this signal is even a stronger market signal, okay? Now, you guys in the West, you guys may not be aware of this, and when I was in the West, living in America, right, I did not know it either, okay? But when I left America, now I'm able to see it, okay? So when I came out here, most of you guys don't know this, but may or may not know this, but when I was in the US, I used to see the trading volume for USDT Tether. Okay, there's a lot of idiots out there like Bitfinex, the Twitter handle Bitfinex, where they talk shit about Tether, and a lot of people have been talking shit about Tether for years, right? But no one ever showed any proof that they were doing anything fraudulent, anything scammy, or anything that was bad. Okay, now I've heard that ever since I got into crypto. Like, we started the first Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading and investing channel on the internet, so in English, and I never seen any evidence. Like, lots of people have been talking about it, but you gotta show me evidence. Okay, you just can't be telling me that somebody's committing fraud or doing something scammy or ripping people off and you don't show me evidence. Okay, showing me your blog post and your opinion, that's not evidence. You gotta show me hard facts and evidence. Okay, show me some blockchain transactions, show me some bank account statements, show me something. Don't tell me your opinion and tell me that you want me to believe somebody's committing fraud or committing a scam, and you just want to tell me your opinion. I'm not gonna fall for that. Okay, I'm not gonna fall for that. Okay, so and fortunately, the Attorney General for New York City, they've been investigating Tether. So that whatever Tether FUD or whatever Tether bullshit that people used to spread, that's no longer an issue. Okay, so the strictest law enforcement agency in the world just announced that the lawsuit has ended and that there's no issue. There's a $18 million fine or something. So as far as I'm concerned, right, if those guys investigated Tether and did not put them in prison and did not accuse them of being a scam or something like that, then to me, and allow them to stay in business and operate, well then to me that's it. That's a green light, guys. No more of this bullshit Tether FUD, Tether scam bullshit unless you got solid evidence. All right. And I'm sure you're not going to have that evidence, especially after the worst, the hardcore law enforcement agency in New York City investigated him and said there's no scam. Okay, there's a few reporting errors or whatever it was, but there's no scam. They didn't steal money from anyone, right, or anything like that. So, anyways, I saw all that Tether trading when I was living in the U.S., and I said, how can there be this much volume of people trading Tether? Okay, this is gotta be bullshit. There's something wrong about this. And when I finally left the U.S. and I went back to Vietnam to live, to take care of my mom, and to also retire, I realized that that's all they use. That's all they use in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Asia. Most of the world, outside the Western countries, they do not have, they cannot send money out of the country. So that's called capital controls or capital restrictions. So they don't let people just send money out without getting permission from the government. So because of that, the only way that you can send money out to the exchanges and buy anything is through USDT Tether. So the trading volume that you guys see for Tether is actually real. Matter of fact, I would even say it's way more than real. It's more than what you can see, because you don't get to see all the OTC transactions where people do Tether transactions. Like in Vietnam right now, if you want to buy or sell $100,000 worth of USDT Tether, it's very easy. That's not even an issue. Matter of fact, they don't have enough. That's why they have to mark it up. So if you have, let's say if I have $100 worth of Tether, I can sell it in the US and that's all I get is $100 worth of US dollars. But if you sell $100 worth of Tether in Thailand, in Cambodia, in Laos, in Vietnam, you actually get a markup. You can mark it up higher. So instead of selling it for one Tether for $1 US, right? Let's say, for example, right, that the Thai baht is currently on the exchange rate at the banks and stuff. It's 30 Thai baht to $1 US. So a Tether is supposed to be $1 US. So that means I should be able to sell that one USDT or one Tether for 30 Thai baht. But the reality is, right now the market's hot. Bitcoin's $50,000 or higher, and I can mark up the Tether and sell it for and put a 2%, 3%, 5%, 10% markup on it. right? So if it's 10% markup, then that would be 10% times 30 baht, which is 3. So now I can sell that same USDT for 33 baht instead of 30. Now I'm giving you exaggerated numbers here, but I'm also giving you real numbers, okay? Like right now it's not a 10% markup, but when it goes up into the bull market and if Bitcoin goes to $100,000, $200,000, we can see a 5, 10, 20% markup on USDT in the Asian markets, okay? So to me, I look back at in Vietnam in 2017 and I asked myself, at the peak in January 2018, which is the peak of the 2017 bull market, how much was Tether marked up in Southeast Asia, right? So in Vietnam, it was marked up 28%. If you want to buy some Tether on, the only exchange that sold it at that time was on an exchange called Ritmitano, which is based out of the Seychelles, all right? The island of Seychelles. I don't know why it's registered out there for some reason, I guess tax reasons or for financial legal reasons. They register out there, but they do business all over the world. So at that time, the prices of Tether was marked up 28% at the peak in January 2018. So I want you guys to think about this. After that, then it fell back down, and then we entered the crypto bear market. So if you know that, hey, in Vietnam, the Tethers were being sold at a 28% premium. A premium means that it's marked up, okay? On Wall Street, they like to call it a premium. On the streets, we just call it, hey man, they marked it up 28% before they sold it. So they made a 28% profit on it, all right? So I'm just gonna use the street terms because I grew up on the streets. So if we know that Tether was marked up 28%, then we have to ask ourselves, okay, where is it now? Where is it right now currently? And right now, at the time that I'm making this video near the end of February 2021, the Tethers are being sold for just last week, when Bitcoin was just a week ago, just a couple weeks ago, it was at like 2.5%, and now this week it's gone up to like 3.5%, 3.5, 3.6, and floating around 3.7% markup, right? And I think just the other day it touched over 5%. Okay, so for me personally, if someone has over a $5 or $10 million portfolio, I would start selling a little bit to take profits when the price of Tether is marked up 5% or higher in Vietnam, okay, or in Thailand. So that's my market signal. And why is that such an important signal to me? Because it shows me what people are willing to pay. When I look at a MACD, I look at a stochastics, I look at an RSI, to me, that does not let me know what people are willing to pay. When I, like right now, when I sell my USDT, right, I convert my profits or my altcoin profits or my Bitcoin profits into USDT and I sell it, in the market, there are people out there willing to give me 10% higher or 5% higher than what the value of it is in the market. A USDT is worth $1. There's no reason to sell it for $1.01, $1.02, or $1.05. But if someone's willing to give me 5 cents more for it, then that lets me know, wait a minute, things are starting to heat up here, you know, because if people want to pay 28 cents higher during the peak of the last bull market, then when it gets, I want to make sure that I'm selling and taking profits long before I get to 28% markup on USDT in Vietnam. So right now, the other day I saw it flip, it go from 3.5, 3.6, and boom, it popped up to like over 5%, like 5.2, 5.3% markup, right? And the way that I look at it, okay, so let me show you how to calculate the markup on the USDT in Vietnam, right? So you would go to Binance, peer-to-peer, and then you would look and you would click sell. Like you want to sell the USDT to a Vietnamese trader, okay? And the Vietnamese currency is called the Vietnamese dong, and the symbol for that is VND. That's V as in Victor, N as in November, and D as in Delta. So VND. So you look for that Okay, so now you know how much you can sell it for, but now you need to know what is the exchange rate for the Vietnamese dong. And the best way to find that one out is you use the official exchange rate in Vietnam, which is you go to Vietcom Bank. Okay, it's spelled Vietcom, which is VITCOM, Vietcom Bank, the regular spelling of bank. So it's vietcombank.com, right? .vn or something like that. I forget. I have it saved on my bookmarks, but it's one of those. It's a government-owned bank in Vietnam. It's one of the biggest government-owned banks, and their exchange rate is the rate that everyone uses in Vietnam. So when you go there, there's a ticker somewhere in the middle of the website, in the middle where it will say the exchange rate for the VND to the euro, VND to the US dollar, VND to the pound, VND to the yen and the Aussie dollar and all that. And you just click on that and you'll see a whole page, and the US dollar is somewhere at the bottom, and it'll tell you what the exchange rate is, right? So there's two rates there. You'll see a high number and you'll see a low number. It's like, for example, you'll see like 23,200, and then you'll see 23,300. And you look at those two prices and you're like, which one is the buy and which one is the sell? Well, I want you guys to remember, the sellers always want to sell it at a higher price. The buyers always want to buy it at a lower price. So if you want to know which one of those rates, right, that you have to pay for if you're selling, right, then if you're selling, then the bank is buying. So if the bank is buying, what do they want to do? They want to buy at a lower rate. So you use that rate and you look at the rate that you can sell. If you sell to the Vietnamese bank, they'll buy it at that lower rate. And then you go over to the Binance peer-to-peer exchange, you put in VND, and you look at if you were to sell your USDT over here, how much are they willing to pay for it? The Vietnamese traders are paying for it. And you go look at the Vietnamese government bank and you say, hey, if I want to sell $1 US, how much is the bank going to give me? And you do the math and you look at the difference between those two, and that's where you get the markup rate of how much the USDT is compared to the Vietcom Bank exchange rate, right? So I'm telling my students that when it hits, if you have a $5 million portfolio or a $10 million portfolio or higher, then when that USDT rate gets to around above 5%, I would start selling. And how much? I would start selling somewhere around $50,000 chunks of profit a day. Just every day I would just sell, like, here's $50,000, $50,000, $50,000, $50,000. When that markup on the USDT in Vietnam goes up to 10% or higher, then I would start selling like $100,000 a day, $100,000 of profit a day. Now, you got to do the math here, guys, okay? If there's a moment when your portfolio gets up to like 20 million, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, then you might have to sell like $500,000 chunks at a time. So what I'm saying is that you're taking out chunks at a time. Okay, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this every day? Why don't we just take out $5 million in one day? It's not as easy as it sounds, guys. Mentally, it's not easy for someone to just sit there and click a button and sell 5 million. First of all, there's not enough trading volume in the market for you to do that with any coin, even with Bitcoin, right? And the second thing is, mentally, it's not as easy as it sounds, guys, right? If you've never sold and taken profits on $1 million or $5 million or $10 million, you may not know what I'm talking about. When you get ready to do it, you will see what I'm talking about. It's not as easy as what people think it is, all right? So that's why I'm saying you gotta sell $100,000 chunks, $200,000 chunks, or $500,000 chunks at a time. And once in a while, there will be somebody that lines up and says they wanna buy $1 million or $2 million. That's when you click the button and you sell all at one time. But usually, it's like $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 chunks at a time, right? So that's what I'm saying. Now, when the markup on the USDT is above 10%, right? That's when you need to really double and triple the chunks of profits that you take out, okay? And that's what I'm using, because that markup on the tether, to me, is a much more accurate signal, market signal for me to take profits. And the trend channel, the combination of those two, if my portfolio goes to the top of the trend channel, right? and the USDT is being marked up at 20%, I'm selling like crazy. Okay. Now you might say, hey Ty, why don't you wait if the markup, the peak of the markup on the Vietnamese currency was at 28%? Why don't you wait until it's 20% or 25% before you sell? That way you can sell like way near the top. The reason that you cannot do that is that if you have a 7, 8, or 9 figure portfolio, that means you have $1 million, $10 million, or $100 million portfolio, you cannot wait. You can do that with a $100,000 portfolio, but you cannot do that with $1 million or $10 million or $100 million portfolio. If you have $1 million portfolio, you guys start selling from here all the way up to here. If you have like a $10 million portfolio, you have to start selling from here all the way up to here. Right? If you have a $100 million portfolio, you gotta start way down here and start selling all the way up here, because there's just not enough trading volume, guys. There's not enough trade, right? Most of the trading volume you see on the market is all fake. It's all fake. It's all bullshit, right? It's not real trading volume. Because if it was, don't you think that if something, for example, like some of these coins that say they trade 100 million in one day, you think that's real? That's not real. That's not real. Because if it was 100 million in one day, why can't I just click a mouse and come in with $100,000, or click a mouse and come out and exit the trade with $100,000? You can't, because there's not really that much volume in the trading. Okay, so you hear a lot of these guys that talk about all this shit is because they've never actually had to do it in the real world. They've never actually had to sell and take profits on $100,000 or $1 million in their life. Because if they did one time, if they try to sell and take profits one time, they would know, okay, there's not that much trading volume here, right? And they try to do it again, they would realize it. Okay, so the reason why they don't know is because they've never done it. Okay, I've done it many times. That's why I know that trading volume is not real. So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You gotta do it. And then also the other reason why you don't want to wait until it gets to 20% markup or 25% markup to do it is because the market is more mature now. So I don't expect the markup on the USDT to be 28% anymore. Okay, and here's the reason why. It was marked up to 28% because that was the only, Ritmitano was the only exchange that the Vietnamese traders could buy the USDT with the Vietnamese dong. Now, 4 years later in 2021, you not only do you have Ritmitano as the exchange, but you also have Binance peer-to-peer. You also have Paxful.com, the people that make the Pax token, the stable coin called Pax token. And then who else do you have? There's another one. I forget who it was. I told you guys, my memory and my brain is not as sharp as it used to be, but if I remember, I'll tell you guys in this video. But you got at least 4 major exchanges that are reputable, that have enough trading volume, right, to where you can buy, the Vietnamese traders can buy the Vietnamese, use their Vietnamese currency, the Vietnamese dong, and buy USDT with it. So because of that, let's just say that each of the exchanges has enough volume now to where it reduces the markup by 1%. Remember, the markup was high up to 28% because there's not a lot of places where you can buy the USDT. But now that we have 4 large exchanges that have plenty of trading volume, let's just say that knocks off 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% off the markup. Okay, the market, people are not going to be able to mark it up to 28% or more. So because of these new 4 exchanges available to everyone. So that goes for, if we just make up a number. I don't know what the exact reduction is. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Okay, I'm just using just numbers that I pulled out my ass and just say that each of these exchanges is going to reduce the markup by 1%. So if we do that, that goes from 28% down to 4%, right? The other thing too is the what was it? The time. The time for these transactions to settle and clear, so that it's much quicker now. Everything is much quicker. So just a rough estimate, I would say that it's going to be in the low 20s. I don't expect the markup on the Vietnamese dong to be at 28% like in 2017. I expect it to be like around 20, 21, 22, maybe 23%, right? So if I start taking profits on a large portfolio around 5% markup, it's going to take me from the 5% markup all the way up to 10, 12% before I even sell a half or 2/3 of the profits that I need to take. So that's why I gotta do it earlier. That's why if you guys have a larger portfolio, you guys got to do it earlier. You can't wait until, oh, I'll wait until there's a 20% markup when I'm near the peak and then I'll sell. Because if you do that, right, here's what happens. You're selling while the market's falling. And when the market's falling, when you sell, what do you need? Do you need buyers or do you need sellers, right? For me, when I'm selling and I need to sell $1 million worth of crypto to take profits, I need buyers. And where do you find the buyers? Do you find the buyers on the upside or do you find the buyers on the downside? Okay, the buyers on the upside because they're FOMOing, right? And that's when I want to sell, is when everybody and everybody's trying to buy. That's when I want to sell, because I get a clean fill, I unload it, I don't get a lot of slippage, and I get my orders filled completely. All right, I don't like to sit there and wait for my orders to get filled. Right? So that's what I'm saying, guys, and that's what I recommend. Okay, so it's up to you when you want to sell, but those are the two signals. One is the markup on the USDT in Asia, in Vietnam and Thailand, and the second one is the trend channel. When I'm at the top of the trend channel, right? And you might say, Ty, what are you talking about? What's at the top of the trend channel? The market, the price of Bitcoin, my portfolio? What are you talking about that's at the top of the trend channel? I'm talking about my entire portfolio balance. On Wall Street, they call it the equity curve. Okay, yeah, I'm from the streets, guys, so I don't use fancy words like equity curve. Like, what the fuck is an equity curve? Okay, what they say, they make up all these fancy names just so that you get confused and you don't know what to do. So for me, the equity curve, right, is the balance of my portfolio charted out on a graph, on a candlestick or a line chart. So I like to do it whenever I go. If you guys go to indexes with an S, indexes.cryptocurrency.market, that's the URL. You go there. We have a portfolio there called the Taifu Portfolio Manager, and you can click sign up and create your own portfolio, and you input all your trades, and it automatically does everything, right? It calculates everything, the percentages, everything, and you can rank them. It's all there, guys. Just go there and do it. If you're not sure how to do it, then go to www.cryptocurrency.market/start. That's probably the easiest way. Cryptocurrency.market/start. And there I have video tutorials to explain to you how to use the software, everything, and you can build your portfolio, and then you can draw the trend channels on it, and then you can see if it's at the top of the trend channel, and then run over to Binance and run over to the Vietcom Bank website and see, okay? And I explain everything in this video, guys. You don't have to text me or send me a message asking, what are you talking about, Todd? I explained everything in this video, guys. If you don't understand it, I don't know what to tell you, okay? If you don't understand, then go get a copy of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint and get the course and learn it, because I've shared with you everything I could in this video about how to read the trend channel and how to read the USDT markup, right? So right now, as I'm making this video, I am selling small transactions, one to test the transactions, right? Like $50,000 to $100,000 each week, just to test make sure my computer security, everything is correct. And now I just saw the other day the USDT price, the markup in Vietnam popped up above 5%, so I increased it just a little bit, right? Increased the amount I sell a little bit, and if Bitcoin goes up to above 60,000 and everybody starts FOMOing in and going towards 70, 80, 90, 100,000, by that time I expect the USDT markup to be over 10%. And at that time I will be selling $200,000 to $500,000 chunks at a time to take profits, okay? I'm not gonna wait until it gets up to 20 or 21 or 22% markup. I want it so that by the time the USDT is marked up 15 to 16, 17%, somewhere above 15%, that I'm done with 80 to 90% of my selling. That means that 80 to 90% of my altcoins are done. I'm done. I'm done. And I can sit back, my Bitcoins are sitting there, I'm not selling any of it, and I can just relax and watch the market go up, okay? And at that time, I won't be in a rush to sell. I'll be quietly, calmly, and sell a little bit at the end, okay? So that's how I'm gonna do it, and that's how my team is gonna do it, and that's how I'm training my students to do it. How you guys do it is up to you. That's the method that we've learned that we've developed over the years, right, going through multiple market cycles, and we've, at this time, you know, things might change in the next bull market, but at this time, in this place, that's the best solution that we have come up with. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of how we grow and manage a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio, like I said, go get you a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint. Every student that has enrolled into our Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, they've all said that the coaching is worth 10 times more than what the blueprint is worth, because it helps them clearly know how to manage their portfolio. And every day when any change that I make to my portfolio, I text it to everyone in the coaching, so they see it, and then they, you know, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. I just share in the coaching what me and Leon does, and then whatever you guys do, that's up to you guys. All right. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. And make sure you follow me at Hey Tai Zen on Twitter. Thank you.